All right, guys, I brought the race TRX50 into the shop. Thing's been doing great. It's been running strong for about a year now. Super reliable too, up until this point, obviously. So, my son is an absolute maniac in this thing. The rear axle is from the original Tao electric quad that we had, and obviously it can't handle my son's jumping lately. I do luckily have the other piece of junk that I bought. They both stopped working within like a month of buying them. But I have this axle, it's in good shape. I'm gonna throw it on for now. And then I'm going to come up with a new idea for the rear axle. I'm thinking a round housing on this one. The quad basically has every modification you could have done to it. So I might as well do that one. And thinking maybe like an inch and a quarter solid steel rear axle should be good for jumping. All right, so I pulled one wheel off. It's just a wheel with a keyway in it. The axle is actually a little smaller than I thought. It's kind of deceiving because they put these axle tubes on. I think part of the problem, I think I'm on the race bike I built for my son. I think these loosen up over time. I got to keep an eye on them. I think when it's all crushed down and pulling against this collar, it adds a lot of strength to it. I'm gonna put back, like I said, put this stock axle, but I'm gonna measure it right now and just see what we come up with. Just something quick, guys. Not going that crazy. All right, so that's 648 thousandths, 47 thousandths. I'll probably go up to 1 inch. I had said that earlier. I think a 1 inch solid axle shaft will be fine. He's starting to jump this thing now, so I want to just add a little extra strength to it, and I'll probably build a round housing carrier in the back. All right, I got this axle out of the old electric Tao ATV. You can see this one broke off. I put custom hydraulic disc brakes on this little guy. And man, are they great. But I have to take off the caliper here first, and then this should all be able to slide out, I think. All right, I got the old axle out. Some of the paint seems to be coming off here. Just gonna touch that up with a little black. And we'll test fit the axle in. All right. Bearings feel pretty good. Axle's spinning pretty straight, to be honest. Really got no complaints. All right, I'm pulling the wheels off the hubs and spacers next. You can see these are the spacers I made. They were in another video, if you guys haven't seen it. I'm just gonna pull the rims off the spacers. Those will fall off, and then I eliminated the keyway on these axles, and I just put 2 set screws locked into the key. I'm sure a lot of people would kind of like cringe at doing this. You could see the keyway slot, but my set screws are exactly the same width, and it worked out pretty good. All right, so I ran into my first problem. The set screws that I used to lock into the keyway, I think I used blue Loctite on them a year ago. I was worried about these pulling out, obviously. I did try heating it with a torch. Sometimes that'll loosen up the Loctite and you could then pull them out, but I didn't have any luck. So I'm gonna have to drill these and then probably just turn it a third of the way around, make 2 new holes, and tap some new threads for set screws. Pain in the ass, to say the least, guys. So one side came out fine, the other side disaster struck. The drill bit actually broke off inside, and I can't press it. I'm going to try to press it in my hydraulic press, but this hub for the disc brake can only slide off this way. So what I'm going to do is take the grinder, cut this axle off, and hopefully I can slide all of this off this way, shorten the axle down as much as possible, and then, you know, press it out. Worst case scenario, I'll cut it like over here somewhere, and I'll try to press it the other way. All right, I got it down. I'm gonna see, I can do this one-handed. Very hard to pull. All right, you can see it's starting to go. Having a very hard time doing this with one hand. This hydraulic piston moving all over the place, but all right. You can see now starting to press out nice and easy. Man, did that work great, guys. The drill bit popped out. The little piece of the leftover set screw came out. You can see it's kind of wedged in the keyway, but that's fine. I could care less. I saved the hubs. That's what I was trying to do. Now I'm just going to spin this to the next good spot and drill and tap some 1/4-20 screws. All right, we got the rotor here with the hub. That slides on there just like that. I'm gonna just put some grease on the splines here, slide that together. Got this all painted. Now I just gotta go grab the sprocket. All right, I got the inside of the sprocket painted just because it was starting to rust a little. I had to actually weld. The bolts kept loosening up on this guy, so I got tired of it. I just gave it a couple welds in a few different spots. That holds that on pretty good. If I ever do have to change the sprocket, I do have a secondary hub, or I just cut those off really quick, but it seems to be holding up really well, guys. I'm just gonna take the Never Sees, just put it like that on the splines and the threads on both sides. I'll coat it a little better once I'm off camera, but you get the idea. And then I'm gonna put the double jam nuts on both sides. All right, guys, you can see I got it all buttoned up. I just re-drilled and tapped the 2 set screws on the hubs here. I put the spacers back just to widen the axles out a bit. And I put the aluminum spacers back in with my bolts on. And we should be good to go. This axle unfortunately snapped because my son has now started to jump this little quad. But I had this axle laying around. I probably said it earlier in the video. Off the other junked Tao electric quad. So I'm gonna put it on for now, hope for the best, and then probably by next year he's gonna be moving up anyway.